I am so excited to be back with you guys. You see I'm in the restroom, I'm shaking my hair. It is time for another lock update, and it is a year and 5 days since I have started my freeform lock journey. The time flew by super fast. I still cannot believe it. I am ecstatic with my hair growth. As you can see, I have come a very long way, and I have learned so much along this journey. I remember sharing with you guys when I first started this lock journey that I didn't want to call it just a lock journey or a freeform journey. It was more so of a spiritual journey for me, and in that I have learned so much, and that is basically why I'm here, to share with you what I've learned along my spiritual journey, my freeform journey, and to share with you some interesting and funny questions and comments I have gotten along the way. So this is definitely one of those videos where I just be a little more transparent with you than I normally am on my YouTube channel. You know, normally when I come on here, I'm sharing my lock update, I am sharing a yoga video, a meditation video, or I'm sharing with you a vibe session, which my vibe sessions are pretty much a very transparent part of me as well, because every vibe session along with every blog that I take is pulling from my personal journey. So everything that I share in that is blah 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 blah, is basically something that I have learned or experienced, or have grown to overcome along my journey. So it's just a little more transparency moment, and to share with you basically where I am today. I can't stop touching my hair. It's such a huge difference. I'm completely locked. There's definitely a part of my hair which is right here. She doesn't want to lock. That part of my hair does not want to lock, and I'm pretty much okay with that. Along the way, it was definitely a bigger patch than just this, but my hair has begun to find a home. So either she's gonna find a home, or eventually she's going to lock. Looks like she wants to connect with this. I don't know. But that is where I am. I haven't popped them yet because, normally when I first started, I definitely had to separate my locks, but now my locks are pretty much separated. So I'm thinking that I'm going to talk and pop, because I haven't, just sifted through my hair yet. Sifted through, that's funny. Haven't, felt through the locks. So I guess I'll do that while I talk, right? That'll be fun. What I have learned along my journey is to meet myself where I am. When you are going through a new hair journey, you expect it to go super smooth. I remember when I was a loose natural, I expected my hair to be flawless like the people on YouTube. So, of course, when I decided to freeform, I looked at videos of women that have locked their hair, women that have freeformed, men that have freeformed, and I had this expectation for myself, knowing at the time that when I transitioned, I definitely didn't have this big, amazing natural fro. It was still, it was a nice length. It was about here, but it was natural. So of course, a different, your hair shrinks in when you're freeforming. So my hair was about this length, but when I washed it and freeformed, it shrunk in, and then it had to lock out. So of course, I wasn't expecting to come into the game with these amazing long locks. So I had to learn to meet myself where I was, and that is something that I am carrying with me along my spiritual journey, is that I have to meet myself where I am. Being a business owner, being a yogi, you have to meet yourself where you are. For example, in yoga, some days I'm not going to be as flexible as I was yesterday. I have to meet myself where I am and work with what I have. And that's something that I have learned, especially having my own business. I have to meet myself where I am. I can't expect to have this Fortune 500 company straight out the gate. No, I have to learn. I have to crawl before I walk. I had to meet myself where I was. Another thing that I learned along my spiritual journey is self-love, self-acceptance, loving every inch of my being. When you freeform, you go through so many awkward, crazy stages. The same when you're a loose natural. I know that some people, like, the lock journey isn't that much different from transitioning from having relaxed hair to having natural hair. You go through awkward stages, and that's life. Like, you go through awkward stages in your life, and I had to learn to love myself in every stage without, any expectations, without any stipulations on myself. I had to love myself where I was at, to love myself unconditionally. And yeah, like, when you go through those stages, like, sometimes you feel ugly, sometimes you feel like you don't want anybody to look at you. You want to cover your head, which that's not why I wear head wraps. I love head wraps, period. So yeah, I had to own my journey. That is something that I learned, to own my journey, to love my journey, to love myself in every stage that I meet. And honestly, that is something that is hard to do, because some days you honestly aren't feeling it, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you can't quit just because you're not okay with where you are. You can't quit and throw in the towel and say, F it, I'm going to shave it all off and start over, because then you have to go through another awkward stage. So no matter what you choose to do, you have to go through those stages. You can't skip any part of your process. It's a part of your journey, and it's more important to love the journey than to love the outcome. Because if you don't love your journey, that means you didn't learn anything at all. And that is, yeah, that's a mouthful of what I learned. That was a lot that I learned, which is good. What else have I learned along my journey? I learned how to do locks, because before this, guys, I knew nothing about locks. I remember, saying, oh, like, I want to learn how to do locks, palm roll. But yeah, this was a hands-on learning experience. Fun facts about me, I don't know how to braid to the scalp. Not a black girl magic trait. I learned as a kid. I don't know if that takes my whole black card away, but whatever, right? I knew nothing about locks, and it was another learning experience. Just like when I went into my loose natural stage, I knew nothing about natural hair because I had relaxers since I was 5 years old. So every transition that I took, for me, it was a hands-on learning experience. I had no prior knowledge. I researched. I tried the hands-on approach. Like, every part about me up to this point of who I am was a hands-on learning experience. There was no prior knowledge, and that is the same for my spiritual journey. I came from a very, very, very religious family, and the whole spiritual route of me learning about my history, just the whole knowledge of self, was a hands-on approach of me researching, finding out what resonates with me, what I like, don't like. Hands-on approach, which shows that, yeah, you have to, another learning fact, I had to be very committed, very committed. This is a commitment. That is something that I definitely learned, was that this is a commitment. My spiritual journey, my locks, full on commitment. With this, I learned that this is definitely who I am. This is definitely who was always within me the whole time. This is definitely, my locks are my identity. Like Bob Marley said, that this is who I is. Like, this is who I am. I would not trade it for the world. I learned something funny. Like, I feel some type of way when people like grow locks and then they cut it off. Weird. I think, well, that's definitely something that I have to work on, because it's not, it's not directly like affecting me, but that's just something that I have to work through. Because for me, this is definitely something that I would never cut off my locks. I would never pull the rug from up under myself with my spirituality and my dreads, you know. I love every inch of it. So this is some very important things that I learned along my journey. I learned that I'm a very, very tough cookie. Because along this journey, I definitely got a lot of looks, a lot of stares, a lot of snares, a lot of involuntary comments, concerns, with that I'm definitely going to get into momentarily. And it definitely made me tougher. Along my journey, I have cried. I've cried along this journey. I have learned how to pick and choose my battles. I learned what is important to me. As far as I learned how to protect my peace and my energy. That's the overall thing. I learned how to protect my peace and my energy. Yes, I definitely, along this journey, the main thing along this journey is that I took back who I am as a being. I took my life back, and I stood firm on who I am as a spiritual being, who I am as a melanated woman. I learned how to take care of myself more. I'm constantly learning and finding more and more ways to hone in on my self-love and self-care regimens. Yeah, I can go on for days about everything that I've learned. This video would be like an hour or so long as I just sit and reflect on how much I have truly learned and share that with you guys. But yes, I learned how strong I am. I learned how I was able to pay more and more attention to how I feel from day to day and just hone in on that. Growing out my dreads has been a reflectionary period for me overall. Every part of my process, I was able to reflect and take that introspective of who I am, and that is super important. And I'm not sure if I would have done all of this if I wouldn't have dreaded my hair. I believe I would have, but just taking this new journey, overall, it was just a different approach, because this is something that is taboo. It's still kind of taboo to like freeform your hair. Normally people go straight to the palm roll process, but with this, I definitely took a radical approach, and I got to definitely see how it felt to be a radical in a sense, and to see how it, just to feel that backlash. Let's get into some of the crazy comments, concerns, questions that I got along my journey. Here's the fun part. Question number 1. Are you Muslim now? Because you're like praying to the east and praying on your knees and meditating. So are you Muslim now? The second thing that I've gotten along my journey, it looks like you stuck your finger in a socket. Third thing I've gotten along my journey, look, you're like a cross between Native American, African, Arabian. You're just all over the map, aren't you? The fourth thing that I've gotten along my journey, yeah, you can't wash your hair when you're trying to lock it. Like it has to get dirty, it has to mat up, like, so basically your hair has to be dirty for it to lock. You can't wash it or anything. Like, you can't do anything to it. The fifth thing I've gotten along my journey, You're not gonna wear your hair like that, are you? The sixth thing I've gotten along my journey. What's up with you lately? You're like so It's like every time I see you, it's just something different. Just so Seventh thing I've gotten along my journey. So what do you do to it? The ninth thing I've gotten along my journey is people bowing to me to make a mock, like to, make fun of me, like bowing to me, calling me African queen or whatever the case may be, jokingly. But nonetheless, all of these things that I've done along my journey, I take with a grain of salt and I take with love. And it's definitely not their fault, because at the end of the day, I didn't know anything about locks until I started locking my hair. So same with them. Some people don't know about locking their hair. So all of these things I give an example out of fun, I give out of love, and just showing my journey. None of these things are serious. None of these things were taken seriously. I wouldn't even make the faces that I made. I would just, look. Literally, I would just look like a blank stare or like a blank face, and I would continue to mosey along my day. But those are some things I've gotten along my journey. But outside of those things and a couple other things, I've gotten amazing love. I've gotten amazing feedback. Many people love my hair. They have encouraged me along my journey. Of course, I found daily lock inspirations for my hair. So all in all, everything is with love. Honestly, it's with love. Love. And I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the questions, the feedback, the concerns, all that. I appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, I was able to inform them about some things. I was able to learn. I was able to thicken my skin. And honestly, what's a journey without humps and bumps and a couple of bruises? It's a life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I love my hair and I look forward to many more updates. And maybe we can do some videos about, me styling my hair, because I have definitely learned how to style my locks. So yay. You can't see my hands, so yay. Peace and blessings, family.